Now, let's rewind to the early 1900s. The dime you probably know today, the Roosevelt dime, was not yet in circulation. Instead, the famous Mercury dime was the star of American coins from 1916 to 1945. The 1919 Mercury dime is especially important to collectors because it came out during a time when coins were still made of 90% silver, and the U.S. Mint was using handcrafted dies that sometimes led to errors. Some errors were small, but others were huge, so rare and valuable that even a single coin can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. One of the most rare and valuable 1919 dimes is a particular error coin known as the 1919 D over mint mark Mercury dime. Let me explain what that means. Normally, dimes from 1919 were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. The mint mark shows where the coin was made and is a small letter on the coin like a secret code for collectors. But sometimes, mistakes happened. In the case of the 1919 D over mint mark, the D mint mark was stamped twice or overlapped, creating a clear and unusual error that can be seen with the naked eye. This kind of error is called an over mint mark or double mint mark. So why does this matter? Because such errors are extremely rare. Most coins don't have mistakes that collectors care about. But when the U.S. Mint accidentally stamped a mint mark twice, it created a coin that collectors want badly. In fact, the 1919 D over mint mark Mercury dime is considered one of the rarest error coins from the Mercury series. You might be asking, how much is a 1919 error dime worth? Well, here's the exciting part: these coins have been known to sell for huge sums of money. Prices range from around $39,000 to $60,000 at auctions. But the rarest and best condition examples have been known to go for as much as $87,000 or more. That's more than many people pay for their cars or even a small house down payment. Just one tiny mistake made by the mint a century ago turned a dime into a fortune. Now, you might be wondering how you can recognize this valuable error dime. First, you want to look closely at the mint mark. It's located on the reverse side of the coin, just to the right of the E in 1. On a normal 1919 D dime, the D is clean and clear. But on the error coin, you'll see the D stamped twice, one slightly over the other. It looks like a shadow or a doubled letter. You don't need a magnifying glass to see it, but a loupe or even a good phone camera zoom will help you spot the detail. Besides the double mint mark, you also want to check the coin's condition. Coins with sharper details, fewer scratches, and no damage sell for much more. The best examples are called mint state, meaning they look almost new. These are the ones that bring the highest prices at auction. If you ever come across a 1919 dime with a suspicious mint mark, don't clean it or try to fix it yourself. Cleaning can ruin the coin's surface and drop its value dramatically. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can confirm if the error is genuine and give your coin an official grade. This grading certificate is important because buyers at auction want to be sure they're paying for an authentic and high-quality coin. But it's not just the error itself that makes the 1919 D over mint mark Mercury dime so special. The coin also has a deep historical story. The year 1919 was right after World War I ended. The U.S. was going through changes economically and socially. Coin production was still done by hand in many ways, which made errors like double mint marks possible. Owning one of these coins is like holding a piece of history, a physical connection to the past. What's even more exciting is that the 1919 D over mint mark dime is so rare, only a handful are known to exist. This means you're not just holding any coin, you're holding a near unique treasure. And when collectors find coins this rare, they compete fiercely, driving up the price even more. Imagine finding one of these coins while digging through old coin collections, inherited boxes, or even rolled coins from a bank. You could have a fortune hidden right under your nose. Many collectors have stories of finding valuable coins in the most unexpected places, and the 1919 error dime is the kind of coin that could change your life overnight. Of course, not every 1919 dime with a double mint mark is worth tens of thousands of dollars. Condition matters a lot. A coin with heavy wear or damage will be worth much less. But if you have a coin in excellent condition with a clear over mint mark, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In recent years, these coins have attracted more attention because of the growing market for rare and error coins. As collectors search for unique items to add to their collections, prices have gone up steadily. Auction houses and coin shows report increased demand, which means these coins are only going to get more valuable over time. So what should you do if you think you have one of these rare 1919 era dimes? The first step is to examine it carefully for the double D mint mark. Then, take clear photos or videos to show experts. Next, get it professionally appraised or graded. If the coin is genuine, you might want to hold on to it as an investment or sell it to a serious collector who understands its value. In summary, the 1919 D over mint mark Mercury dime is one of the rarest and most valuable error coins from that year. It's a coin that combines history, mystery, and major value. With prices ranging from $39,000 to $60,000 and sometimes even reaching $87,000, this dime is proof that even small coins can hold big surprises. Imagine holding a small nickel in your hand, just a regular coin you might get as change at a store. But what if that little 5-cent piece is actually worth $25,000, $43,000, or maybe even $78,000? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. A rare 1953 D Jefferson nickel with a special error could be hiding in someone's pocket or old coin jar right now. That's why collectors go crazy for this coin. In this video, we're going to look at why the 1953 D era nickel is so special, what kind of mistake makes it valuable, and how you can tell if you have one. So don't go anywhere, because if you stop watching, you might miss the one clue that could lead you to finding a fortune in change. Let's start with the basics. The Jefferson nickel began in 1938 and has the face of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his house, Monticello, on the back. The 1953 nickel came out during a time when the U.S. Mint was trying to speed up coin production. That meant some mistakes slipped through, and these mistakes are exactly what makes some 1953 nickels so valuable today. The D in 1953 D means it was made in Denver, one of the U.S. Mint locations. That year, Denver made millions of nickels, but only a few of them had the rare and valuable errors we're talking about. So, what kind of mistakes are we looking for? One common error is something called a repunched mint mark, or RPM. That's when the mint accidentally stamps the letter D twice. Maybe the second stamp is slightly off-center. To the eye, it looks like there's a shadow or double letter. That's a small error, but collectors love it. In even rarer cases, a 1953 D coin might have what's called a D over S, meaning the letter S was stamped first, then a D was stamped over it. If you look really closely, sometimes you can still see part of that S under the D. That's a big deal in the coin world. It's not supposed to happen, so when it does, collectors will pay top dollar to own it. Another thing to look for is doubling. That's when the picture or letters on the coin look like they've been printed twice, slightly shifted. This is called a double die. It can happen on Jefferson's face, the word Liberty, the date 1953, or on the back around Monticello. If you find doubling on a 1953 D nickel, that could be very rare and very valuable. Even a tiny doubling that's hard to see could add thousands of dollars to the value. Now let's talk about something called full steps. This is super important when grading Jefferson nickels. On the back of the coin, look at the steps on Monticello. If you can clearly see all 5 or 6 lines on those steps without breaks or weak spots, that's called full steps, or FS. A 1953 D nickel with full steps is hard to find because that year, the mint didn't strike the coins very well. So if you have one with full steps, especially with an error too, now we're talking serious money. Let's talk numbers. Most 1953 D nickels, the regular ones, are worth just 10 or 20 cents today. Even uncirculated ones, meaning they've never been used, might only be worth $1 or $2. But here's the twist. A top-grade 1953 nickel with full steps and a rare error, like a double die or RPM, can sell for $5,000, $15,000, or even $25,000 at auction. One example of a 1953 nickel with full steps sold for $15,275 at a big coin auction. Another 1953 coin, a different mint, sold for $24,000. So when we say $25,000 to $78,000, those aren't just random numbers. That's the real value range for some rare coins like this. But don't get too excited just yet. Not every coin with a small error is worth a fortune. Some coins look like they have doubling, but it's just damage or wear. Other coins might have a mark near the D, but it's not a real repunched mint mark. That's why it's important to check carefully and maybe even send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies can tell you if your coin is a true error and give it a grade, like MS65 or MS67. The higher the grade, the more money it's worth. So how can you check your own coins? First, get a magnifying glass or coin loupe. Look closely at the D mint mark. Do you see a second D underneath or beside it? That could be a RPM. Do you see what looks like part of an S under the D? That could be a D over S, very rare. Now flip the coin and check the steps on Monticello. Are they clean and clear? Count how many you see. If you can see 5 or 6 full lines, your coin might have full steps. Finally, check the whole coin for doubling on the numbers, letters, or Jefferson's face. If you see anything strange, don't clean the coin. That could ruin it. Put it in a soft plastic holder and take it to a coin shop or send it in for grading. Even if it's not worth $25,000, you might still have a cool collector's item. Here's the bottom line: most nickels from 1953 are only worth a few cents. But a rare few with the right error, the right condition, and full steps can sell for thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. And yes, in the most extreme case, if everything is perfect and rare enough, it's possible one could sell for over $78,000 someday. That's why people are always looking at their change, because you never know what's hiding in your pocket. So now that you know what to look for, go check your old coins, your change jar, or that shoebox in the attic. You might just find a 1953 nickel that turns out to be worth more than your car. And if you do find one, you'll remember this video forever. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could change your life. So make sure you stay until the very end of this video, because I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and how much these rare dimes have sold for in the past. This little coin could literally change your life. Let's go back to the year 1966. At that time, the US Mint was making a lot of changes. Just a few years before, in 1965, they stopped using real silver in dimes. Before that, dimes were made of 90% silver. But starting in 1965, they switched to a cheaper metal copper with a thin layer of nickel. That's called a clad coin. They made this change because silver was getting too expensive. So in 1966, dimes were no longer made of silver. At least, that's what was supposed to happen. But during that time, the mint was very busy. They were trying to make millions of coins quickly. And sometimes, mistakes happened. Those mistakes are called mint errors, and they can make a coin very valuable. In 1966, a few dimes were made with serious errors, and those are the ones collectors are paying big money for. One of the most valuable errors is when a 1966 dime was struck on a silver planchet. That means it was made using the wrong metal. It's supposed to be made of copper and nickel, but instead, it was struck on leftover silver planchets from earlier years. That shouldn't have happened, but somehow it did. And because it's so rare, it's now worth thousands of dollars. One of these silver dimes was graded and authenticated by PCGS and sold at auction for $12,650. But that's not the only kind of valuable error. There are also dimes that were struck off-center, meaning the design is not in the right place. Some dimes have parts of other coins on them, for example, a dime struck on a penny or nickel blank. That's called a double denomination error. There are also dimes that have missing layers, die cracks, clipped planchets, or even double dies, which is when the words or design appear to be stamped twice. All of these types of errors are super rare, and when they're found on a 1966 dime, collectors go wild for them. Why? Because most 1966 dimes are very common. The mint made over 1.3 billion dimes that year. So when a rare mistake shows up from that year, it's a big deal. Some of these error dimes have sold for $59,000, $78,000, and yes, there are even rumors of private sales for over $100,000. That's life-changing money for a coin that fits in your pocket. Now, let's talk about how to spot one of these valuable dimes. First, look at the date. Make sure it says 1966. That's your starting point. Next, look at the edge of the coin. A normal clad dime will have a copper-colored stripe around the edge. If your dime looks silver all the way through, with no copper stripe, that could be a silver error. That's a good sign, but you'll want to weigh the coin to be sure. A normal clad dime weighs about 2.27 grams. A silver dime weighs about 2.50 grams. So if yours is heavier, you might have found something special. Also, check if the design looks strange. Is anything off-center? Are the words blurry or doubled? Is part of the coin missing? Is the surface super shiny or weird looking? These can all be signs of a mint error. If you see anything unusual, don't spend the coin. Put it aside and keep it safe. You can also use a magnet. Normal dimes should not stick to a magnet at all. If yours does, something might be wrong with the metal, and that could be a rare error too. The best thing to do if you think you found a rare dime is to send it to a trusted grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They will examine your coin, tell you if it's real, and give it a grade. Coins that are graded as MS, which means mint state, and have full details, like the torch on the back, can sell for a lot more money. Now you might be wondering, why would someone pay $78,000 or $100,000 for a tiny coin? It's because collectors want the rarest coins they can find. The fewer there are, the more they're worth. Some people collect coins as a hobby, and others do it as an investment. And when there's only one or two of a certain error in the world, they will pay big bucks to own it. What's even crazier is that some of these rare 1966 dimes have been found in the most random places, in old change jars, at garage sales, or even in pocket change from the store. That means you don't have to be a rich collector to find one. You just have to look. So the next time you're going through your spare change or cleaning out an old drawer, take a close look at those dimes. You never know, one of them might be worth more than your phone, your rent, or even your car. That's the fun part of coin collecting. It's like a treasure hunt, and anyone can play. Before I go, I want to remind you, always check your coins. Especially dimes from the 1960s. The 1966 era dime is one of the most exciting coins in US history. It's rare, it's valuable, and it's still out there waiting to be found. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to pay attention. If you found this video helpful or exciting, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos about valuable coins and hidden treasures. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin before, tell us about it in the comments. We'd love to hear your story.